absolutely get around the boys.
Woo-hoo!
Get around them. What was that? I did not expect 2023 to be the coming of age. This is ridiculous football. We are playing amazing, attacking, strong, even defensive football. It is just, I'm having the time of my life. I'm so gobsmacked by what St Kilda's been able to provide us with over the past couple of weeks. Thank you to Ross Lyon. Thank you to the boys who are showing incredible enthusiasm out in the field. Yep. This is what we've been craving for the past 10 years. So this is a great start to 2023. A long way to go. But boys, I am feeling so much more optimistic now about the season. I want to know how you're feeling. How's your week been? Firstly, Jakey, we'll go to you. How are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm great. I'm like you. I'm stoked. It was just beautiful to watch on the weekend, sit back with the family and just know that the boys were going to give 110% for 4 quarters. And to see the Doggy supporters leave about 10 minutes into the last quarter in droves, that was almost better than the 4 points itself. Just beating up on teams that think they're going to beat up on us. There's nothing better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, spot on. Deano.
Welcome, Deano.
You're back.
Oh, absolutely.
Special cameo appearance from Deano. Marshy's out this week. He's down in Tassie, so we've brought in the next best thing.
Absolutely. We just hope that the club doesn't end up in Tassie as well. But Jesus Christ,
that's a real great start.
Rewind. Feeling great. I love being able to go to school on the Monday and wear my Saints top.
Yeah.
And usually people will scoff at me and give me a bit of banter about how bad we are, but they can't do that now.
Yeah.
They've seen the Saints play both days, and I'm getting kids coming up to me excited about talking about Saints footy. I'm like, who you go for? Carlton or North Melbourne. And it was just fantastic to be able to have footy back, have the enthusiasm back, and just be excited to watch the footy.
Yeah, definitely. We're hanging on the edge of our seats now every week. It's fantastic. Now, boys, we'll quick cover it here. 150th year.
Big week.
Celebration coming up April 1st, Saturday night, 7:20.
Celebrate.
That's it. Against the Dons.
Yeah, and they're going to be up and about. They're going to get people to the ground.
They're 2-0.
We want to outnumber them.
That's it.
It's got to be all Sainers there.
Yeah, what's the record?
I think there's against Essendon, it might be 72 or something like that. But I think all time at the G might be 78 for home and away games.
Yeah.
76, 78,000. We want to get above 70.
Oh, we want to get above 70 full stop.
Yeah.
I'm doing my bit. I've got 10 mates coming. It's a Saturday night.
Absolutely.
It's a Saturday night. We've got 3 of them are Essendon supporters. The rest are going to be St Kilda because no one likes Essendon.
Yeah.
And it's our 150th year, so I'm going to make sure they're all kitted up. They're all wearing their scarves. And I've got a few extra.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've got a few extra scarves now. We were lucky enough to have Bricey from the Saints media department hit us up.
Bricey.
And he's done us something really, really nice. We've got a couple of presents here.
What's Bricey done?
Oh,
you did say there was a little surprise for the potty.
Yeah, surprise. No, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
We have gifted 150th year commemorative scarves.
Bloody hell, they're nice.
They are ridiculous. Here we go, boys. One for you, Jake.
Oh,
is that merino wool I see?
It is merino wool.
Oh, look at that.
Bloody hell, bad time to be in Tassie, Matty.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Marshy's done himself no favours.
Oh,
let's show the cameras, boys.
This is beautiful.
Yeah,
they've got the gold writing there for St Kilda.
Jeez.
They've got the old emblem there, like the patch on the commemorative jumpers. And I love the Saints font here. That's got me going. And a bit of 40th Quo Fidelius underneath.
That is tradition.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
That's what we're all about. So we're all going to wear them for the show. Thank you to Bryce,
for the
mate.
show
that was very, very friendly.
Geez.
Thank you, Bryce. Thank you.
You can pick these up on game day before you head in. Make sure you get one. And they are bloody good quality too. Like these things
that's
are fantastic.
comfy.
And they're stretchy. Yum. Love it. So we want to see these being we want to wave these around Kevin Sheedy style.
That's it at the
that'd
end.
be delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cocktail shades.
Make sure you get down with your mates. We've got Killing Heidi opening the proceedings.
Really?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
for a bit of pre-game entertainment. So
beautiful.
That'll be fantastic. Bit of a flashback there to the early 2000s. But yeah, come down with your mates. It's going to be good fun. We're all going to head out afterwards.
Yeah.
Make an event of it.
Absolutely.
It's never going to happen again.
No.
So
yeah. That's it.
Until the 200th, and you got to
You only get
I
the
don't know.
150 once.
I don't know if
That's it.
every Saints fan's going to get down for that one, but
The 200th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
So make sure you get down with your mates. You boys bringing some mates down.
Yeah, I've got the whole
Absolutely.
fam. Even my sister's got a few of her friends coming that aren't Saints, but they
Yeah.
love the club anyway, and they want to get along. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
I'll bring my partner down.
Yeah.
She doesn't come to the footy normally.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand what's going on, but I'll bring her down anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. Absolutely. Boys, let's chat about the weekend.
And let's rewind now. Let's go back to. Oi.
Oh, jeez.
What are you doing?
Yeah, there we go.
Saturday night. What a night that was.
That was
Saturday Night
ridiculous.
Fever.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So, I was out at a gig.
Yeah.
I missed the whole game, except for the last 2 goals of the game where I got to walk into the house and go, you bloody beauty, get up the Sainers. So I was listening on the radio on the way home. It was about an hour and a half drive. So I caught the second half. Boys, the atmosphere walking in, I want to know what it felt like going in there because it was a Bulldogs home game.
Yep.
Were they confident? Could you tell the Bulldog supporters were up and about? Like, here's our first one of the year.
There was that was the first thing I noticed getting into walking to Marvel to my seat was, there's a lot of Doggies fans here. Like it was a lot. I did not see a lot of Sainers getting to my seat. It was all blue around me. And then I was feeling good. The boys came out, warmed up, and they looked switched on. I'm like, all right, I reckon we mean business tonight. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for the Doggies. And then they came out and the lights dimmed. All their fans got the lights on their phones and Eminem was blasting.
That's
and they
cute.
had these giant Bulldog things, the big new screens that Marvel's got.
yeah, yeah.
They had
Yeah.
these dog eyes looking down on the crowd
that's
and shit.
cool.
I was like, this is intimidating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're going to be in for a long night here, but nothing affected our boys.
Didn't inspire the same fear that the Saints marching band inspires.
Nah.
When that snare gets rolled,
That's
the other
unmatched.
end gets
You
rolled.
know
unmatched.
what? Would you assume that everyone in the Saints marching band supports the Saints?
No.
Definitely not, because I saw them walking out of the ground after they've done
Yeah.
their job. And I'm like, yeah, they're not Saints supporters.
My mate, he was in a Saints marching band. This is the inside scoop. He wore his Carlton jersey underneath.
That's gross.
That's sacrilege.
That's gross.
I want to see the Saints marching band probably not come back, but if it was going to have a resurgence, all Saints fans in that marching band.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
But we're
I'll
not
do
here
it.
to talk.
I'll get out there.
Yeah.
Do my bit. I don't
can all
know. They
do it.
probably don't need a guitarist, but I'm a Victoria Bitter X's tonight. The 6%. They are St Kilda coloured. That's why I got them.
Fitting for the
Beautiful.
150.
Fitting for the 150.
What were your feelings pre-game, Deano?
I'll be honest, I wasn't at the game. I was in Canberra
Yep.
and we were getting a nice Italian meal and I was just constantly getting the all clear from the girlfriend to check the footy scores while we're dining. And I just kept watching the score run up and I'm like, what's happening here? We got 1 goal, 2 goals, 3 goals. And I kept refreshing. I'm like, surely the Bulldogs are going to score at some point.
Yeah.
And it just kept going. And I was like, then eventually we got out of the Italian restaurant and we started watching it. But yeah, I was just really staggered that we were so dominant that early.
Yeah, we went. I completely forgot it being at the game. I was like, wow, it took them long enough to score. But I forgot that Frio's last goal in the previous game was in the 7-minute mark of the third term.
Yeah.
So if you add all the rest of the third, all the fourth, all the first this week, and then most of the second, I think someone posted we went 80 or 90 minutes
Yeah.
without conceding a goal. That's over half a game.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
bonkers. That is Rossline peak defensive football.
Yeah, it is. And we always knew we had the talent there.
Yeah.
We looked at Dukes, we looked at Wilkin, we looked at Battle last year, and we're going, geez, our defence is good, but they're just getting it bombed in on their head too often. Especially from centre clearance when it's just 6-6.
Yeah.
So now that we're adding that defensive pressure into the midfield, and they're getting less inside 50s, they're having the time of their life back there.
That was another thing when I watched the replay yesterday was it was deep into the last quarter, and I think Cameron Ling, he couldn't believe that the Doggies only had 33 inside 50s up until that point. He's like,
37
this is
per game or
this
something.
is under the roof, perfect conditions with a stacked Bulldogs midfield,
Yeah.
and they got 33 inside 50s to our 53.
Yeah.
That was at
Yeah.
that point. I don't know what we ended on, but
Yeah.
I was like, geez, when you look at all those numbers, you're like, how did we even how did we do that?
And also, I don't think the Dogs even deserved the point they got in the first quarter because
It's
you
not
saw
right.
that free kick.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Well, it
rubbish
was-
because Wilkie touched it.
Yeah, it wasn't a mark.
So
Yeah,
It
that's
came off
right,
Ryan
yeah.
Marshall and Wilkie's hands.
That was the Norton one, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Has anyone ever been scoreless in the first quarter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
plenty
plenty.
of times. We
And-
probably have multiple
We've
times.
probably got
yeah.
a few of them under
yeah.
our belt.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, and boys, let's talk about the goal scorers. We are running in with a forward line with a combined 12 games experience or something like that from our key forwards.
Isn't that's crazy?
That is nuts.
That's-
Owens, Filippo,
The hammer.
Caminiti.
Yeah.
The hammer.
Love him.
The hammer.
Doesn't he look at home? How good are his jukes?
What was he hammering on Saturday night, you reckon?
After the game?
Yeah.
I reckon whatever you were saying before.
A bit of Vouv quicker. I actually meant more in during the game. Like, he was...
What I love about him is it's not just like he's a competitive beast, but
He
like
is.
he's actually a lot fitter than people give him credit for. His movement up and down the ground is
crazy.
next level.
Yeah, it's what we've been missing.
Yeah.
And not only that, he is one clunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one clunk and it's a mark. His hands are brilliant. They are vice-like grips. So, boys, we found one there.
We found a lot of little secret weapons.
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
For sure.
And it's going to be crazy when we start to get the likes of Membry's and Kings back, where they fit in and what
Yeah.
happens, because it seems like we're stocked up now.
What happens if you bring in your Membry and let's say Max King and Tim Membry are in next week? Who are you dropping from that forward line?
Yeah, it's probably a Cordy.
I think Higo would probably go.
Oof.
You need smalls.
Watching the replay, Higo was the only player on the ground
Yeah.
that didn't look like he knew what he was doing. And this
He did
isn't
struggle, yeah.
And like I was sitting level 2, beautiful seats thanks to Ticket Blaster, right above the bench.
Blast
Yeah.
away.
He was on the bench for a shitload of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Him and Butler started the first and the second quarters on the bench. Oh, almost every quarter was him and Butler. We didn't start with any smalls.
There you go.
Ross really did favour the Caminiti, Filippo, Owens trio
Yeah.
over having any smalls.
And it worked a treat.
And it worked a treat. And when Butler came on, Butler was chasing, and he was doing all the small things without scoring, whereas Higo, I think he gave away probably 4 or 5 free kicks for
Yeah.
holding and pushing and just really wasn't getting into it.
Really looked lost, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
What would you say Higgins in the team for? Like, what's his elite qualities that he brings?
I think it's
to
his
this
X
team?
factor.
Yeah,
his
his
ability
goal
to just
scoring.
find goals out of nothing.
Yeah. But we're finding that now from Owens.
Yeah, and
His ability to find goals from nothing is now overtaken that of Higgins.
yeah.
And he's able to play small and tall. So
And you'd say Filippo, he's got that knack too. Like
He
he's
does.
that second snap where the ball just flinged him, he just caught it and just smashed it on the
he
left
didn't
foot.
even look at the
Didn't
goals.
even know where the goals were, but
Yeah.
he did know where the goals were
Goal
at
sense.
the same time.
Yeah, it's just that goal sense.
Yeah.
That is just football now.
And that the goal from the centre square, I just want to get that covered off straight away.
That
Delicious.
I don't know if the
That's
goal
where we won.
itself, I don't know if the goal itself was the most impressive thing or just him knowing straight away,
Yeah.
without question, I'm kicking this.
Yeah. He had the confidence. He knew it was within his ability.
Yeah.
And it lifted the team. That was it. That was it for the Doggies. That was their dying day.
You could see all the boys go up to him afterwards with massive smiles on their faces, like
How much of
almost
that-
like, mate, I can't believe you did that. But then even Ross Lyon in the post game was
Yeah.
like, he does that at training,
Yes.
so I know he can do that on game day.
Yes.
Ross's presser was so impressive. Like,
Yeah. I've yet
it's
to
just
watch
all.
the
It's just
presser.
all.
What
coming
was
together.
impressive about Ross said in that presser? Because I haven't
He-
seen it either.
So the key takeout compared to like back in the day was he was giving so much credit to everyone around him. So he really did call out Lenny, the influence of Lenny, Robert Harvey, and Corey Enright in particular.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
three. Corey
Corey
Enright
Enright.
was sitting next to him in the box.
Yeah, front of the box.
So him and Corey Enright, clearly the main two
Yeah.
guys running
saw
the show
that.
there, which was really good. But he also just talked about how, like, for everyone else, it looks like a surprise, but for him, he's seen Caminiti's aerobic capacity on the training track.
Yeah.
He sees Owens flying for the footies, and then he's seen Filippo with his X factor
Yeah.
and his skills at such a young age. He goes, they're just translating what they're doing on the track into the big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, some players it takes a bit longer to do that, but for all three of them to be doing it, and you look at Naz too,
Yeah.
like special
he's the
mention
same.
off half back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they're they're not phased
The
at all.
whole team is enthusiastic, and it's something we haven't seen in a long
Yeah.
time. Like we've seen it in periods. Like in 2020, we saw it a bit, but then when we dropped our heads, we really dropped our heads. Whereas when
I think we've had it in the past. It's just that we've lost it in the season, and it just never comes back.
Yes, yeah. But we haven't seen it from kids.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen that spark and that enthusiasm from kids. We've seen tentativeness and it was something really across the AFL, I'll say, where the kids were coming in and not developing as quickly because they wanted to please the coach and what the coach wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Ross Lyon has given them license and guidance.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. They've got their learner's permits. He's in the seat next to them, but they're driving.
And he's probably not treating them like kids.
Yes.
You know, because you're not, like, you can talk down to them and say, it's your first game, do this, do that. But you just feel like Ross is just basically speaking to them just like he would speak to an experienced player.
Yeah.
He trusts them. Like, he said, like, the team that's running out there, obviously there are some missing stars. He said, what did he say? His phrase, I can't remember what it was, but it was like technically best 22 players or something. There was a term, and it's like referring to Membry and King and Billings, how, yes, they are technically best 22 in a way where it's like, but the way we're playing, they're not just straight in.
Yeah.
You know, because this is the best 22 we've got right now. They're delivering.
We will have senior players come back through the VFL. How good's that?
Like Zachy Jones wouldn't get in.
No.
JB would be struggling with Philippo doing what he does.
Yep.
No.
Seb Ross came in and played really well.
Seb Ross
He
was
was really
really
good.
impressive.
Yep.
And it was good to see Windy get 10 minutes late. Because I think with Steele going down, you're going to need Windy, and hopefully Bytel and Burns are okay because they just add more rotations.
Yeah. And what I love to see is that Ross pulls the trigger on the person that's not having a great game. He goes, okay, Burnsy, you're not having a great game. Come off for the last quarter. We'll check how Steely's going. If Steely's not going to come on, we'll bring... we'll take Steely off and bring Windhager on. But then Steely was able to come back on with a fucking shattered collarbone in 2 pieces.
Not sure why. The game was done.
The game was... But they wouldn't have known.
Yeah, true.
I just don't think... What's that disease where... Well, it's not a disease. Where your nerve system doesn't work.
I don't know.
And you just don't feel anything. And these people have to be super, super cautious every day because they don't feel anything. And it's like they can't feel if they're injured or they're cut or anything like that. Is Jack Steele that? Because he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he had a torn AC joint last year and played out the game
That was the
against
same
Geelong.
shoulder, yeah?
It was the same shoulder. And this time it's a broken collarbone in like an innocuous hit in the forward line.
We're going to have to start x-raying the bloke after 3/4 time.
Yeah, spot on.
And just be like, all right, yep,
Spot
all
on.
good. No, sorry, you got to come off. You broke your leg, mate.
Yeah,
I don't know why you're still
it's
walking.
only sideways a little bit.
Like, yeah, I'm sure they
Seriously.
ran the test, and like a lot of people saying, why do we let him back on? But we probably didn't know. Probably ran the
we
test.
didn't know.
He
He would've
probably
been-
was doing this and like, yeah, I feel all right.
He came back out in the field and pointed with his right
Yeah,
arm. He was like,
he marked
everyone
it.
going over that way.
I'm pretty sure he laid a few tackles anyway. Like,
Yeah, there was
I don't know.
one situation where he went to go reach down for the ball and he pulled out of it and he was like, nah, like, I cannot do that. And they ended up getting a score from it.
Yeah.
But all forgiven. But of course, fucking shattering, he won't be there leading out the team.
It says a lot about his
50th.
leadership style, I think.
That's
He's
exactly
someone
right, yeah.
he's someone who wants to stay on the field, and even though he's got pain, he's experiencing pain, he wants to set that example that he'll just play through whatever to help the boys out. And he would be playing with so much adrenaline when the Saints are playing incredible footy.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to go out of that and sit on the bench when we're killing them?
Yeah, you want to be part of it.
You want
and
to be
that's-
burying them more, don't you?
That's where I feel so bad for him. Is like this bloke bleeds red, white, and black.
Could be part of that.
Bleeds it.
Part of that new sort of ruthlessness that
Yeah.
we haven't seen. It's like, yeah, it could sub him off, or he could put the hand up if he really wanted.
Yeah.
But he's like, nah, I want to finish this off. You know?
Yeah. The great thing is, like,
Good
we have
point.
the confidence that players can come in for him, like your Marcus Windhagers and everything like
yeah.
that for next week.
Okay.
But you're replacing someone who is almost a guaranteed top 5 best on ground, you know?
Yeah.
And
Who's going to step up? to the plate?
Windhager, he can do it, but it's a huge gap to fill.
I firmly don't think. I think Windy is like a straight swap in most people's eyes, but I see players like Clark and Gresh really sharing the load and really taking that. Like if they get 20 each, that covers Steele.
Yeah.
Gresham he's been playing forward line minutes this year. He hasn't gone into the midfield, but you feel
he played a bit of midfield. He started the game in the middle.
And he resulted in the 2 goals from those clearances.
So but he's kind of doing that hybrid role, and I like that from Gresh. I think that's
I like
really
the
important.
role. I just don't like that it takes him doing something selfish to be able to do something team worthy.
Yeah.
I think that now that we're playing this team orientated football, you use the players around you. He's the only one that's not doing it.
He did it a few times
after the fact, though. It was after the fact, and that's what I don't like. And
what was selfish that he did on the weekend?
Oh, the one where he hooked it over his shoulder from 40, but it was never going to go into the goal.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad.
That was the worst of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an instinct player. You know what I love about Gresh, just on him? How many players you think run smoothly within our forward line?
He finds gaps, doesn't he?
He's really good at moving with the footy in hand around the forward. Mason Wood does it a little bit.
Yeah.
And also Owens does it a little bit. But a lot of players, it separates them is that they just handball it or turn around and try and snap it. But when you move with the footy, you cause absolute chaos you get opportunities.
You saw him do the right thing and handball it out to Mason Wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he needs to do that 10 out of 10 times. Your last option is to kick the ball over your head and snap for goal. You've set your own bar really, really high there with what you can do because we know his ability. And that's what you're saying. He can curve around anyone in that forward line. He is the most... We know it. He's a match winner.
Yeah.
Especially a stoppage in the forward line. Every team knows get on Gresh because he's the most dangerous forward. So what he needs to realise now is that everyone else is putting that work in to become available for that handball. Now's the time to give it off. You know, this isn't last year. This isn't 2 years ago. This isn't 5 years ago. We're playing as a team now.
Yeah, that next man up mentality that I think Caminiti and Filippo mentioned post game when they both didn't know who Eric Banner was, which is pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
Couldn't believe that. But they were asked about this sort of mindset, and it's all next man up. So Steele's down, but someone's going to come in and do the job.
Spot on.
And I feel like last year, if this happened, it did happen with Steele. We were panicking, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I actually don't.
It's where the season fell apart.
It's weird that... Yeah. And this is on top of Kingy and Membry and every other injury, and you're like...
My panic stations, would be Rowan Marshall. We cannot afford to lose him.
Touch wood right now. Don't you dare.
I'm touching
You're not even bringing that up. We're not even bringing that up. Just skip over that.
It's done. It's done. But
I'm not talking about it. We've got Tom Campbell. We'll be right.
Yeah.
How incredible was Rowan Marshall on the weekend?
Good.
He was the biggest man on the field,
good.
and he made sure people knew that. He had a career-high 9 clearances.
Huge.
Which is just ridiculous. The way he was getting the ball onto the boot was amazing. He had 29 hit-outs, most on the ground, 20 disposals, 4 marks, 6 tackles.
That's awesome. 6 tackles for a ruckman.
That's all Australian.
And 15 contested possessions.
All
and
Australian.
This is where everyone was going off about, Tim English is... he's had a great quarter and he's the number 1 ruckman on the ground. Nah, piss off. He's nowhere near it. Yeah, he took 8 marks compared to Marshall's 4. We had other blokes that were taking the big marks for us. Not only that, 8 contested possessions out of his 21. Rowan Marshall, 15.
He's also a tone setter.
He is.
Because he just uses that body. I think he's getting really confident in his size now.
Yeah.
Because that's what separated him.
Size.
Yeah. That's
he's
what
now
always...
105 kegs.
There you go. That's what always Gorney, Grundy, these big boys had over him. And now he's slowly catching that. Yeah. And he's using that to his advantage.
Yeah. So he's the biggest bloke on the field now and he's letting people know.
Yeah.
And he's starting to your average ruckman, they'll tap out in front of him into that safe tap space. But he's starting to get that tap behind his head as well.
The Paddy Ryder.
That's a huge step for a ruckman because that means if you can do that, teams get absolutely punished when you start bringing in your Sean Griggs or your smaller ruckmen.
Yeah.
Because the ruck craft is just a huge weapon.
Yeah.
Especially when you got your Gresham running through that middle, you can just run it out.
Gresham, Clark. Let's talk
Yeah,
about midfield for a second.
Crouch has been excellent the first
Crouch
2
has
weeks.
been
Just
under
doing
the
what he
radar.
does. Yeah, back to his best. Like his peak Crouch.
Yeah, he laid how many tackles on the weekend again? Probably a game high, 9 tackles. There you
9,
go. Game
30.
high.
What did he get? 30?
26
Yeah,
disposals,
that's a good
14
game.
contested possessions, second on the ground for that.
Excellent hands. He's so quick with his hands.
How nice is it? Because he was always looking for that handball for the past few years, but didn't have the runners.
Now he's
He's got the runners.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like it's got to be a combination. We've got more runners, but our hands in tight at the moment.
Yeah.
Huge.
They're quick, but they are so clean. How many fumbles can you remember? I can't remember many. We're just getting it and going.
Not only that, how many handballs did you see go to the knees? We are handballing with purpose.
What about that passage on the wing with Butler and Higgins? Where Butler's like
nice.
tippy-toeing on the boundary. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And they're
That
just
was crazy.
handballing on the boundary between Bulldogs players. I'm like, how are they doing this?
Yeah, it's just confidence and
Yeah.
being sure you know where the handball is going. If the other team is good enough to pick off a handball that's darting at them at 100 k's per hour,
Yeah.
so be it. Most of the chances, though, it's going straight to your player.
And what Saints did as well was defensively on handballs. When Bulldogs tried the handball it through the back, the Saints were just absolutely attacking them.
Oh, we were pressing so
more
hard, weren't
yeah.
we?
And we
Yeah,
just
brilliant.
know how to like run. They run to the right player as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just awesome. And we're quick when we do it too.
Yeah.
And the Bulldogs, they panic so much when we were pressing them. And that's Saints footy. That's the brand that Ross Lyon loves, is that manic pressure, forcing turnovers.
Yeah.
And you just can't really, and it's so fun to watch. Like my favorite thing in footy is like when people start hitting each other and like Saints players smack in, and that was happening heaps in the weekend.
I can't. That touches on how much I can't believe our midfield's improved over the summer. Other teams just aren't getting a clean clearance. We are man on man, sticking to man on man, letting our boys do the work, applying pressure until the ball falls loose,
And then
we
go.
swoop on it and we pounce.
Yeah.
And that's when our halfbackers and our wingers get really, really involved.
Sinks and Naz,
Is as soon as they see Gresh come out the back of that pack or anything like that, Hill as well.
And Hill, he's been great. Hill, his physicality,
Has he been? Is this his
so
most
good.
physical year?
Yes.
I reckon he's pushing blokes around.
Yeah.
He's chasing harder than anyone.
Yeah, and he's tackling.
And he's tackling.
He ran at the Bont on the weekend.
I know, he got
And
so close to get. He
4
knocked him
tackles.
off. Yeah, that's awesome.
He
Is
was-
that his biggest tackle count for a while? Because he usually gets like
would've-
one
he
or
would've
two.
had-
He
yeah,
would have
he-
had more, but like that speaks volume. And even in the first round, he was doing that too.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
check
it
him in the
hasn't
first
stopped.
round because I reckon it was more or less the same.
And
4 tackles again.
yeah, so 4 and 4. I mean,
But that's just tackling. That's not including a passage of play on our half forward flank where I saw him throw his whole body across someone's boot to try and get the smother. Didn't get the smother, but it's there. The intent is there. The enthusiasm is there. When was the last time St Kilda were this enthusiastic about playing footy?
well, it's like they think that a smother or a tackle or a block is a goal. And that's
Yes.
I love that mindset.
It's the
Yeah.
goal, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Like to see, like when we get a clearance last year, no one's blocking for Steele or Crouch, and then they get pinned.
Yeah.
But they get it. They've got a good 2 to 3 seconds to really assess the options because they know whoever isn't getting the ball, that's a Sainer,
Yeah.
is
Shepherding.
blocking and shepherding and doing the little 1%ers that just literally win your games.
Yeah.
I will love to see our pressure go against an elite team because I don't rate Fremantle or Bulldogs at the moment.
Yeah, in
Their
terms of
ball
pressure,
use
yeah.
have been absolutely average.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and I
they're
mean-
playing
and-
a very old game style.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
trying to do kick into the
Essendon
forward
won't
line.
bring that.
But like Bulldogs want to do that, but they don't have the players
Yeah.
to be able to kick that much. And they've got let's not talk about the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk. We're here to talk about the Saints.
But it was
Yeah.
a perfect performance.
Yeah. And as you said, you're keen
yeah.
to watch it. It'll come this weekend. Essendon are currently ranked 4th in the competition for pressure. So I'm not sure where we're ranked. I think it'd definitely be top 4.
You'd think so, yeah.
If not 1.
Can we look to the preseason match to gain any insight, or is it just no?
Well, when you think about the preseason game and what we saw,
Against
we
the
missed a
Bombers,
bit of
yeah.
it, but what we saw, it really is close to what we've seen in the first 2 weeks after quarter time.
Yeah.
we kept it low scoring. They only kicked the 4 goals that day. Or they missed a lot of shots.
They missed heaps, yeah.
But the translation in the first 2 rounds in that game are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. How good's just going back to the game, I just think our backline, we kind of always mixed around with our half-back flankers, but I think Nazaya is going to be on that back flank for the next 5 years, 10 years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And his height in marking contests is critical. He flies for the ball, and his ball use is fantastic, and we look for him as well.
Yeah.
So him and Sinclair, they absolutely shark for it, and I love Liam Stocker.
Yeah.
I think I might get his number on my jersey. I just love how physical he is. Do you remember on the wing when he just went and hit a player?
Barreled the guy over?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just in his way, and he's like, get the fuck out of my way.
Yes.
Just pushed him over. I thought he was going to give a free kick away, but I'm glad they left that.
That brings up something else that I thought about our footy on the weekend. How aggressive are we?
We're angry.
We are angry. Like,
if you're getting the footy, mate, you're getting hurt.
Yeah, you are getting hurt. Do not get in my way. And I saw Dukes do something pretty nasty on the weekend too.
Oh, the knees, the cheeky knees.
Into the ribs of Aaron Norton. I was like, geez, he's
Was
lucky.
that when he was rolling over him?
Yeah.
I was like, geez, that's cheeky because like,
That's like Hawthorn 08 style football.
Yeah, and I think that's what Ross is trying to bring into this team, which he didn't bring maybe to the elite team that we had as that aggro.
Yeah, we were never that angry, were we?
No, we were just like we were aggressive at the football.
Yeah,
but we're playing we're playing a physical brand of football now. So if you're going in hard for that ball, we're going in harder.
Yeah,
Machito Owens. He's, you know what? He does like a little chest bump when like a player gets rid of it as well.
Yeah.
And for a second year player to be that physically imposing, what a future that kid has.
We've got 2 19-year-olds and an 18-year-old in the forward line.
And
they're all big.
They're huge. I looked at Mateus for round 1 and I'm like, I was sitting next to my brother and I'm like, Matt, he's a big boy. Because you expect your first years to be rail thin. Yeah. But like
Nat Fife-esque.
He's just huge. Everyone's huge.
And did you notice?
And we're fit.
Did you notice there was a nice little moment? I think it was his first goal. But did you see who bumped him as he snapped to kick the first goal?
Bruce?
Nah.
No.
I'm pretty sure it was the Bont.
I saw that.
This is symbolic. I'm like, this is the man that I think he can become.
Yes.
Like he's got all the traits of being a player like the Bont.
Yes, very true.
And to have the Bont try and stop him and not, I was like, tip of the hat there. That's quite nice.
I had 2 of my mates, my best mates, message me after Filippo kicked that goal from the centre square and just went, all right, he's
a
good.
freak.
He's good. All right, he was touted to be top 5. They were looking at him as a top 5. We got him at 10.
Yeah.
And the reason we got him at 10, I think, is because people were scared. He was South Australian.
And he wanted to go
and he wanted to go home. But you know what? He's got a taste of Saints footy.
And
Melbourne
some
life.
Clubs I know thought he was slightly too arrogant.
I love that about him.
I know you look at
Paddy Dangerfield coming into the AFL would have been the most arrogant draftee ever, and he's had just like the most successful career.
Yeah, exactly right.
So you need it. You need that arrogance.
You need to think you're the best if you want to be the best.
But not only that, if he thinks he's not being the best, he'll kick himself up the arse and go, "You're better than this, mate."
Yeah.
Why are you letting these blokes push you around?
Harvey said he works harder than he like has a similar thing to Pendlebury.
Yeah.
Commentators will be saying that all year now.
Yeah,
but
that's it. Yeah.
I just love him. I reckon our future looks so good. And also one thing that can get in the bin, everyone was saying Ross Lyon can't develop young talent, and the last 2 weeks of footy absolutely just tells you that Ross Lyon is able to get the best out of young players here.
Yeah, but we knew that.
Yeah,
we knew that he just came into 2 teams that were already developed.
Yeah.
We knew that he could get the best out of players like Robert Eddy, young, McWalter, young, Geary, young. We knew he could get the best out of these players.
And Ross Lyon spent 4 years at Saints. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
And he spent about 4 years at Freo. And Andrew Brayshaw still regards him really highly.
They all do.
Well. They all do.
If you chat to all the Freo players from back then, they all rate him as one of the best coaches they've had.
Yeah. He is enthusiastic as well. He may not sound it through his voice because he's quite monotone, but we saw that vision of him out on the field, out in the training track. He is enthusiastic, and when you're not doing the right thing, he'll see it and he'll call you out. I don't know if that's what we would have gotten from previous coaches.
No.
So, and also he looks relaxed the coaching box. Like and it just screams, I'm experienced.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So, to be fair, like when Rats sort of looked that way, but he still looks stressed. I don't know if that's Rat's disposition.
Oh, it was good. Before we go into junk mail, it was good. Like where I was sitting, I was pretty close to the coach's box, and Ross was right on the end on the left.
Yeah. And
it was funny. There was a few times where I'd look on the bench and like Butler or someone would come off straight on the phone.
Yeah.
And then I'd look up and it's just he's on the phone. And then Butler's like, yep. And then he'd tell someone else to do something, and it's just like it's communication. It's clear. They got clarity. Leaders. They know what they need to do.
And you know what that says to me as well? It's like, Butler also didn't have the greatest game. Did his job in terms of pressure and everything like that. Wasn't on the scoreboard. But just because you're not having the greatest game doesn't mean you can't have a good influence on the players around you. Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't instruct and go, Rossi wants us to do this now. Make sure you get this together because your teammates are now listening.
Yeah.
We don't have teammates screaming at each other negatively.
No.
We've got teammates going up to each other and going, look, that wasn't right. This is what we're doing next.
Yeah.
We are composed. We're enthusiastic. We're aggressive. Yeah. We are such a complete team right now. I hope we don't lose it. Because if we are, this Saturday should be good fun.
Yeah. Are we getting ahead of ourselves with this footy though? Because last year we won first 5 games. And we were looking fantastic.
Convincing though.
It wasn't.
We haven't seen change like this.
The style of football is completely different. We won games last year with 15-minute patches of footy.
Yeah.
Literally, for most of the Freo game, you watch the replay, we were the better team.
Oh, yeah.
And barring 11 minutes where the Dogs kicked 4 goals, 3 from free kicks, we obliterated them. We were all over them.
Yeah.
They were never in the game.
And I was going to say, wasn't it nice to watch a game of football where the umpires didn't influence the game? They had that bad call with Norton.
That one call. And
and then there was a few that could have been holding the ball, and you're like, oh, ball. And then the same thing would happen to us. Like, we'd hold the ball in and they didn't call it ball. It was a really
They let them be physical as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Physical but fair.
Yeah.
So there was maybe a couple of times where, like, the Bont got double-fisted in the face by Battle and you go, okay, that's probably a free kick. But they were letting them attack the footy with full vigour. Yeah. So, it was a really well-umpired game. I just want to say that as well. Alrighty, boys. Let's have a bit of a break and then into big segment.
It's a big segment this week.
Big segment.
Huge.
Yeah.
Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail. Jakey's Junk Mail.
Alrighty, get into it. This one's from Emma. Jakey's Junk Mail. I only moved to Australia in 2015, so I'm still a green sainter, but I try my best. Though it means I sometimes get the players' names wrong. When I first came across Cooper Sharman for some reason, I thought his name was Cooper Smalls.
That's a cool
and so
name.
he's been known as Smallsy by my husband and I ever since. Has anyone else got an illogical nickname for a player? Cooper Smalls.
Cooper Smalls.
It's gangster.
Like a gangster who does part-time DJing underground or something.
Yeah.
I don't think
Who did you get wrong constantly over the past couple of years? It was a recruit.
He's been delisted now, probably, I think.
Who was it?
Oh, man. Who's been recently delisted last year? I'm trying to remember now.
He just kept getting his name wrong. Can't remember.
Oh, no.
You definitely,
I don't know. I can't remember. I've erased that
I reckon
in my memory.
I reckon Matthias has done a number on a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like people like Matisse.
The commentary on the weekend, they kept saying Philippou.
Oh, okay.
Annoying.
I've got one, and it's not from St Kilda.
Yeah.
It's Lincoln McCarthy from Brisbane. And this is during lockdown where I watched every single game of AFL and with my housemates. And
nice.
Yeah, just absolutely having a great time. And it went from Stinkin' McCarthy, because Lincoln and Stinkin', to Stinkin' McCar out.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so Lincoln McCarthy is Stinkin' McCar out.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. This one's from Matthias. Matthias, there you go. Good on you, mate. If that's how you pronounce it.
Philippo.
Might be good to discuss this on this week's potty, the correlation between starting well and winning games. I swear over the past few years, we've lost so many games by just giving away cheap goals within the opening few minutes of a game. The past 2 games we've started with intent and got the result. Fast starts.
Yeah,
Something
I agree.
new?
Yeah,
Coming out of the blocks?
completely new. It was always last year a fast start by the opposition and a fight back from us, and then 15 minutes of blitzing football.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great change.
Absolutely. 4 quarters as well.
Yeah, just continuing it on. This one's from Matt. 2 points, apart from the fact we are playing bloody well. Firstly, I'm slightly concerned that we play our 150th celebration game at the MCG. I understand why, but the way we're going at Marvel at the moment, I'm confident against the Bombers given their last 2 opponents, Hawthorn and Gold Coast.
Here.
Secondly, these kids, as we are calling them, are bloody going well, but I also fully expect that they will need to be rested at some point. Going to be a tough call when that time comes, hopefully after both King and Membry are back.
Yeah, we got to get as many wins on the board while we're up and about, don't we?
Yeah.
So keep them in. The greatest thing that Ross said about this group is that we can run, and we can run all day, and that will definitely pay into our favour at the MCG, especially at our bookends with the likes of our forwards and our defenders. Their midfield's really great. Our midfield's going really, really great at the moment. So that's a fantastic matchup in that midfield there. But I feel like we've got better players forward and back than Essendon, and they really rely on their mids to be up and about.
And their midfield's similar to the Doggies.
In
the way that they
they've
go
got
about
stars.
it.
Don't get me wrong, they've got stars in there. They've got Merritt, they've got Parrish, they've got Dylan Shield who can turn, he can turn it on. So, but we've been able to negate both really good midfields over the past 2 weeks, and I think we can do it again.
And how special for those younger boys to play the first game at the G, because that's
And it's the 150th.
and it's the 150.
Big crowd.
Are they going to get like heaps? We'll talk about it later, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
This one's from Chad. The Chad.
The
Oh,
Chad.
Chad.
Was it the Chad?
The Chad.
Do you get that reference? Bit of Charlie's Angels?
Yeah, I do.
That's a great one.
What was the
it
guy's-
the Chad?
What's his name? Tom Green or what was he?
Yeah.
Something Green was his
Yeah.
name, the actor. Does intent trump skill?
Yes.
The likes of Caleb Daniel unable to hit consistent targets is a result of pressure from Saturday night. As they say, every fighter has a plan to beat their opponent until they are pinched in the face. And we are pinching our opponents in the face.
I love that.
How
Who
good is
said
that?
That's true.
That's from Chad.
The Chad.
The
The
Chad.
Chad.
The
Chad's job
That's
is
the
to
question
feel
of the
sorry
week.
for
Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Chad. Absolutely, the intent outweighs the skill.
Yeah.
We saw that from, I reckon, who were the Western Bulldogs in 2016. Great example there.
Intent, wasn't it?
It was all intent. That those 4 weeks they needed to win finals, the intent was there. Was the skill there? No way. No way. You put that team up against, the likes of Geelong from last year or, Hawthorn from that period. But that was, their intent there was incredible.
Yeah.
We've got that intent right now. Yeah, so definitely.
I
Great question.
disagree though. I reckon you can have as much intent as you want, but if you look at like our Saints teams in 2018, 2017, I don't think they were lacking intent, but right now we've got the skill to follow through with our intent as well.
There you go.
And you need
Yeah.
to have both. You really do.
Yeah.
Fair
No,
call.
fair call. This is from Darcy. Does the team believe in signs? Going to the game, catching the train in, and could not get on as I did not have enough money. Checked the balance, and it was $6.66.
66 cents. I'm seeing double sixes everywhere.
From then on, I knew the game was ours. He's even
Yeah.
taken a photo to prove it. The old Darcy there. So
I'm
good on ya.
seeing sixes everywhere at the moment.
666.
66.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
aren't we a team of Saints, not Devils?
Yeah, isn't that
Isn't that
my
bad juju?
account balance right now, 66 cents.
Yeah?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to transfer everything into savings just to have 66
cents in. That's
which is
it.
$10 into savings.
We
Yeah.
should. Old mate doesn't need some type of exorcism. The seeing 666
Well, I thought
everywhere.
that the club needed an exorcism in the pre-season. With how
I know,
many
you
injuries
said
that.
that.
He had, yeah.
Yeah, now we're exercising our demons on our opponents.
Hey!
Hey!
Yeah, come down to the G and get exercised by the Saints.
Yeah,
I reckon.
66 times.
Yeah. This one's from Timmy. Yip yip fellas. Oh, he's
Yip,
he's
yip.
got the yip yip
Yip, yip.
out.
Yeah.
Love your work. I've been over in Japan for the last 2 weeks, still watching the games live and keeping up to date with all your content.
On you, mate.
Meant to be
yeah.
coming home today, but my old man told me I have to stay here because the Saints are playing so well while I've been out of the country.
Oh, wow.
That leads me to my question. Do you guys have any quirks or routines that you will continue to do to keep this ball rolling? Cheers,
Bought
fellas.
these socks before round 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Are you wearing them during like game day all the
Yeah.
time? Yeah.
I don't wash my jersey after a win.
Yeah.
And if my jersey still got meat pie stains on it until
Keep it.
round 19,
Yeah.
we've
So
had a
be
great
it.
season. Like 2010 was a rough year for the jersey.
2009, yeah. 19 wins in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've gone the the socks. You didn't play, but the socks that Marshy bought us when we had to play Dosso's Demons, the Saints
Oh,
socks,
yeah.
the footy socks. I've been wearing them the first 2 weeks of the season,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and the last pracky game. So it's been to 3 games, 3 wins so far. So
That's huge.
I'm going to
them
keep that
coming.
rolling.
Yeah.
The Saints
Yeah,
socks.
my mum, shout out to Colleen. She's got every superstition down pat. Like the way that they sit in the seats, the scarf that she wears. Some scarves are cursed, have been thrown out. Everything just to try and get the Saints over the line.
I love it.
I
That's
think
dedication.
superstition comes from this general paranoia and fear.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And I think it's pretty fair given
Yeah.
2010 and the
don't
other
wanna-
grand finals. But we're not going there.
No.
So this one's quite unique. I've been sent this by, I think his name's Timothy, and he's been sending like sort of poems, like video poems about like the game that just happened. So he'll basically kind of rhyme and say a few things.
Oh,
So
good on you.
He sent one this week, and I thought I'd bring it in.
out,
No,
yes.
it's him saying it in a video, so we'll just play it.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
play
We'll
it.
see what you guys reckon.
I'm ready to introduce
Hold
it
that
to my
next to the
classroom
microphone
as
for me
well.
there, Jake.
G'day boys, Tim and Noy with this week's poem about the game. Before it gets too tough, before they can't stop the bleeding, the blood won't clot and we won't stop scoring, the back of the pack won't stop receding. Before we get too far ahead, before the September bow, you best just save your blushes. You best just give us the cup now.
How good was that?
Jesus.
I felt like I had Patrick Stewart reading that out or something. That was. Listen to that guy's voice. We're going to
Yeah.
need to rip the audio from that, put it actually
Oh,
properly.
yeah.
Because he has got one of the smoothest. I don't like reading and I don't like listening to audiobooks. If it was read by him, I'd do it.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind
what
a
a
bit more
performance.
poetry from you boys.
Oh, okay.
I used to write
a
some.
bit of a poem
Few
situation.
sonnets. Sonnets.
Nah, we're not going there.
Nah, fair enough.
The-
Fair
I've
enough.
The
left that-
Saints
that
coming
Jake-
through.
That Jake in the past, he's done.
What you gonna do?
The Saints coming through for their big 150. Watch Mateus Philippou line it up from 60. We're going to go out there and we're going to beat the Dons.
Guess what?
What?
Let's go.
They're... I don't know. I was trying to think
Saints
of a word.
footy, we got it going on. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, he's pronounced his last name wrong to suit your poem. But
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I did. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's doomed.
Yeah.
That's why I remember when Revolt tried to come out and say it was Revolt. I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to get a sick nickname too, Philippo.
No,
Yeah.
he's got a few. He's got that. He's got
What's he
Scud.
got? Scud?
Scud.
Scud because of Mark Philippousis,
Yes.
the tennis player.
Oh, good on him. I love
Watch the Channel
Philippousis.
7 post
He's
game.
sick.
He mentions a few, and so does
Yeah.
Caminiti.
Oh,
Oh,
nice
really?
one.
And nice one.
Yeah. Caminiti's just got to beat the hammer.
Yeah, I think he's like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is from Charlie. My boyfriend is obsessed with the Saints and pays them all his attention. Should I be worried? She's a bit jealous of the Saints at the moment.
Charlie, if you'd like to contact the hotline that my girlfriend's currently on, the number is... No, Charlie, don't be too worried. Don't be too worried. I saw a TikTok the other week, Charlie, and the TikTok was a lady, and she was saying, if you found a man that goes for a sporting team that has very poor history and goes out and loses week after week, and they've barely won any championships, and it just doesn't happen for them. But he goes week after week to support this team with a very poor history. That is the biggest green flag you can find, because they are the most loyal people on the earth, and I cannot back that up more.
Yeah, spot on.
Absolutely. I love that. Also, you guys can share that, get through the list, have a look at some of the boys, choose a few that you like as well.
That's it. Yeah. We got some pretty good looking boys on the list.
Absolutely.
So, a bit of eye candy. Yeah.
I've done that with my partner, and she's she's a big fan of Steele.
Yeah, Steele.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's a bloody shock. Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Wow, no one picked Steele.
I was kind of.
This is from the Sad Saner.
Oh.
First one
I
of the year.
love the sad Saner.
He should have a soundbite.
He should have a soundbite. But he's now got an Instagram and a Twitter, so make sure you go and follow.
Follow
Yeah.
Santana.
There's a free plug for you, mate. Next time it's $10.
That's it.
Would you rather Ross the Boss tell you he's proud of you or have a good pillow talk session with Rowan? I'd go Ross the Boss telling me he's proud.
Yeah, me too.
Like that's a Ross the Boss compliment.
Pillow talk session with Rob.
Nah, Ross the Boss all the way for me.
As long as the lights are on so I can see you smile.
Oh boy. Simone is asking, what do we say now to those people who told us we have no depth and no young guns? Oh, I don't think we need to say anything to them, to be honest.
Watch.
It's too early.
It's too early.
I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy to just roll with it and be in our own little bubble.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride, and if
Tell
we
them
don't
to
get credit,
suck
we
it.
don't get credit. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Tell him to get stuffed.
Yeah. This is from Jacob. Caminiti as a full forward and Cordy playing well as a half forward second ruck. Who gets cut when Membry is fit?
Well, it's probably... Oh, look, maybe Caminiti if he needs a rest. But
Yeah.
if he's flying, then keep him in.
Depends who's left.
Yeah, I think Caminiti more plays a Membry role
Yeah.
rather than Cordy. So, I don't know.
I'm so excited for Memory to come back because 2018, 2019, it was so fun watching him full forward.
Yeah.
I reckon Ross has different ideas about perhaps how to use him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd love to see Membry just crashing packs again and taking big marks. Fantastic set shot too. And he's not going to be in the back line this year, which is going to be good.
Last one here from Thomas, and it leads us very nicely into the big game on the weekend.
Yep.
Any pre-game or post-game plans for the 150th B-Day on Saturday?
Centurion.
Ooh, pre-game.
Well, pre-game, I've actually got a bit of a plug.
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right.
Yeah, so pre-game, I'll be playing at the Carlton Brew House,
Nice.
which is nice and close to the G. It's just a tram trip down Victoria Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing Carlton Brew House from 2 till 5. I'll be there, so you can get the package. I think it's like $50. Could be like unlimited beers or something, and you get a meal as well. They have the best Palmers. Refrain. Second best Palmers in Melbourne,
Nice.
right after the Bentley Social, of course.
Absolutely.
So come down to the Carlton Brew House if you want to hear some tunes. They'll be playing the footy during the day. They'll have a couple of screams up with the Grand Prix as well. So it's a good opportunity to get sink a couple down. I'll be there. I'll be there for a chat. If you got your Saints gear on, let's have a talk.
Yep.
And I'll sing you off onto the MCG.
Sounds good.
Come slipstream me. I'm riding from East Malvern Station right to the G. Ride the G
Love it.
with
Beautiful.
Swampy.
Swampy.
No, because
That
Marsh
sounds
Swamp.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I don't think there'll be many.
Carlton Brew House 2 till 5.
Yeah.
Sorry. Definitely go to the Cullen Brew House. Don't go wrong.
I
but
think that's the main one. I don't even know what my plans are for the day. I just know I want to get into the Richmond area early, have a nice dinner, and then just get to the seats early because it's going to be packed.
It's going to be packed.
And they got pre-game. They're going to have
be great.
It's just going to be just a big celebration of our footy club, and you just don't want to miss a second of it. So
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
having
It's
said
gonna be awesome.
that is Jakey's junk mail done. Thanks to Bentley Social. So
on your Bentley
Yeah.
thanks
social.
for everyone for sending that in. But
Not too far away from the Bentley Social now.
no,
Not too far away. 3 weeks and counting.
yeah, can't wait. I'll post more about that next week.
I really want to run like a little trivia. If that's
Little Saints
okay.
trivia, you reckon?
You
at
did that
halftime?
last time, did you?
I didn't do any Saints trivia.
Nah.
Just
You want to run a bit of trivia at halftime?
I wouldn't mind, but
You can't get a few guests up.
yeah,
Yeah, all right. We can
We'll have
organise
some-
that. That can be
we'll
done.
brainstorm.
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah,
150
so-
trivia.
All right, let's get into it. Yeah, I'm the boss here, mate.
Uh,
Oh, Jake.
I'm going to turn this camera off.
Hey,
It's got a little battery sign at the top of the right hand screen.
do it now.
That says
just do it now.
cancel light. Turn it off. So bye.
See ya.
We're back.
Woo! After another ad break.
That's it. Too many ad breaks.
Yeah.
Too many.
Two's enough.
Yeah.
So leading up into the game on Twitter last night, I kind of thought every Saint has got so many. We've all got different unique stories about why we like the club, why we follow the club.
Yeah.
And so I put out a bit of a call to arms last night just for people to just share, why are you a Sainter? What makes you a Sainter? What's the influence? Was it your parents? Was it the colours? Why?
Yeah.
And we've had about 70 responses so far, which is awesome. And they're not short. They're like, you know,
Good paragraph.
people really sharing some story. I'll give you one. You're putting me on the spot here. There's a few pretty good ones.
What are we?
Dad was raised in Grosvenor Street East, St Kilda. He and his sister used to catch the tram to the junction during the 50s. He was at the G in 66. We lost him in 94 when he was only 45. The last game we saw together was Plugger's last in the red, white and black.
There you go.
His name is on a plaque in the Danny Frawley Centre stand.
Oh, that's
Good
lovely.
idea.
Wow.
I like
That's
that.
huge.
I'm so glad I just picked that one out of the
brilliant.
one. That's a very special one.
That is so special.
So there's many like that, but that's a great one. But
Yeah.
it's cool to hear all the different
If Saints
stories.
win a flag, it'd just be nice for that person to go back to that little plaque as well.
Yeah.
Have a
Yeah.
beer with the
Have
old
that
man.
moment where it's like
that's it. Yeah.
That's,
we did it, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's what it really is about St Kilda, isn't it? Is like when we finally reach the climax, it's just going to be about family. It's going to be about friends. It's just going to be this like emotional outpour of all these people that have been through the club. Some that are here, some that are lost. It's just going to be amazing, and I think that's something that we can actually celebrate together on Saturday. You know, so we do have that moment. It's not a premiership moment, but we have that moment together on Saturday. No matter who you are, you're wearing Saints colours. You're family. You are absolutely family.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what's nice? When you go, like, you travel and stuff and you see someone who's got the Saints colours on, or you just find out that someone's a Saints fan, it's always a nice experience.
Yeah.
Like, I was on the train, I was on the bus, in Canberra, and I was having a nice chat to this guy, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a Saints fan. I'm like, no, what? That's awesome. I can't, and I was just so happy to share my love for the Saints with other people.
That's it. And we always do it as well. Like, we always get people coming up to us and say, we're from America, we listen to the podcast. We're from Brisbane, we listen to the podcast. We love it. If you're at the 150, come up, say hi. You know, we want to chat. Saints
Big hug.
footy.
Big Saints hug.
Saints footy, that's it. Come get your free hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Outside
gonna be
gate
nice.
6. Yeah.
How good would it be if 150 we do it? That'd be huge.
Like, it would be the saddest story in the AFL currently to being one of the, probably the greatest sort of moments in the AFL. You know, winning that second flag, 150 years, with Ross back.
Oh,
It'd be a
would
dream.
Harvey's there.
It'd be a dream. Harvey's there.
Harvey would tear up, and I reckon Lenny would too.
I reckon,
Everyone
I think there'd
would.
be a dry eye in the house. Even
Nah.
the team that gets beaten will be crying, but crying half from like, oh wow, the Saints, that's fantastic, and
We've
Half
got
of it.
so many
Oh,
boys in our team that are Saints fans before as well.
yeah, that's it.
It's going to be huge. What a moment.
Yeah. But the next step is to just thump the Bombers on Saturday night.
Let's do it.
That's the focus now.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
I
And
hate Essendon with a passion.
they've been a bogey team the last couple of years. We just don't know how to get close to them.
Yeah.
And that's been under the roof, though.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see that. Some people are a bit worried we're not playing at Marvel for this game, but the Dons like the fast deck at Marvel. And I
They
reckon
do.
with
They
that
do.
new running game we've got, the fitness that we've got, run and spread the ground, it could really open the game up.
Yeah, they've only played Hawthorn at the G. Their game of the weekend was at Marvel, so I reckon we're a hot chance.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Even if it's a bit dewy, even if it's a bit wet, I'd
Yeah.
still count us in because we're going harder.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we don't rely as much on pinpoint kicking. You know, well, it's not like we're the Dogs where that's really our only sort of game plan.
We love the chaos ball.
We can just bomb it in. It works better for our medium-sized forwards anyway
Yeah.
because they're mobile. The ball hits the deck. They're roving more goals than they're actually marking at the moment.
Yeah, I'd love to see that added to our game though. That
The
lead up
clunks,
and
just
mark.
the bomb and mark, yeah.
Oh no, not the bomb and mark. The lead up and mark.
Yeah.
So I think we're really missing that from Kingy. But
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Embry as well.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think
There's a
that's
few
something we can
nice.
add to
There's
our
a few
game.
nice lead up and marks on the
Yeah,
weekend.
Cordy.
Cordy was a
That
good
was
one. He
beautiful.
did
Yeah.
that twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Brad
knew what
Hill
to
sending
do.
it in. Love it.
Yeah.
So, love to see more of that as well.
What are the changes do you think this week?
Change it.
Because obviously Steele.
He'll be in. Dead set. He'll be in. So it's just Steele out, isn't it? So we need an emergency.
I know Jimmy might be a chance. Webster
So
could be
maybe
back.
Jimmy comes off the bench. Maybe
Vital.
Jimmy's the emergency. But he's not much of a secret weapon, is he?
Nah, he wouldn't be a
maybe
sub.
Jimmy starts,
Yeah.
and then we keep Burnsy on the bench.
Burnsy or Vital, I reckon.
I think Patton's performance last weekend, we didn't touch on it, but that's the best footy I've seen him play.
Yeah.
For a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really strong overhead, clean hands, and I think he's kind of pushed Jimmy out for a bit.
Yeah.
If he maintains that level of play.
Yeah, he had a good 21 disposals, which is
Yeah.
excellent numbers, and didn't make a mistake at all.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think what we're trying to do is we're trying to exploit explosiveness off the bench. Like we kept Windhager there for a long time, and then the last quarter went, okay, explode. And that's what we did the week before as well with who came off the bench?
Was it Burns? No, it wasn't
No,
Burns.
Burns
had
played the full
26,
game.
Yeah. Because Butler came off. Oh, Bytel.
Vital
Vital
came
was
on.
good.
Yeah, he was good.
Bytel
Yeah.
came on. So Bytel's probably not ready. But yeah, I think that we just need that explosive player to come on to really make a difference. So it'll be interesting. It could even be someone that started in the 22.
Higo
Could be Higo.
on the edge. Yeah.
Could be Butler.
That's
Who
the beauty. That's the beautiful thing is
Yeah,
Ross
it's
has got
strategic.
integrity. He kind of knows there's no favourites, on form.
It's probably
that's
probably
the team.
Vital again.
Vital.
honest.
He's ready to come back.
Is he?
Unless they treat him like Windy, where it's like,
think
we'll bring
it
him
was-
on late in the game.
Maybe they'll put him through Sandy.
Because if it's a dewy night, you bring Vital on late. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Because you get those clearances, a bit more grunt around the ball.
Could
Good
I
work.
need to game plan differently for Essendon though? A little bit.
I don't
Like-
think so, because it's really a matter of negating the midfield and negating their run out of backline.
Yeah,
So-
and we've done that pretty similarly the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and they
So-
just have that one defender to be careful of, and that's Jordan Ridley. And if it's not Jordan Ridley, like, he's going to have to be accountable this weekend. He's
Yeah.
going to have to take someone up like a Machado. Machado will go straight to Jordan Ridley. Straight to him. He did it in the practice match and did really well on him. So,
Yeah.
yeah. What do we reckon?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
good too.
The Bombers, I think they might get Stringer back. Maybe.
Yeah.
But the way our defending is at the moment, we've handled two pretty tall teams.
Yeah.
Teams in kick scores, especially Bulldogs with
Yeah.
Norton, Darcy, Ugelhagen.
Yeah. And you know with Stringer, he's not a big pack mark.
No.
So you're not going to have an issue with putting someone like a Patton on him.
No.
And he's not going to be that fit. So
Yeah, so we should be okay.
Yeah.
If in the first quarter they're already kicking sideways and we've slowed the game down already, I'm going to feel at home.
Yeah.
Because the second Bulldogs did that on the weekend, that's when I knew, okay, the game's on our terms,
Yes. Yeah.
which is good.
I'm just so worried about Steele being out, and I know like I said before, he's so hard to replace.
Yeah.
But who's captaining this weekend?
Wilkie.
Wilkie's got it.
Yeah,
That'll
I reckon
be
that's
really
great.
interesting. I'll be really keen to hear him. We won't, but yeah,
He's a very vocal captain.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's a very vocal bloke, so. And we've got
that'd
the
be
other
great.
leaders out there too. Like we've got Sebi out there.
Seb's awesome. Like
Yeah, he's great.
Sebastian. So our midfield's going to be Seb. You got Brad Crouch. He's fine. Hunter Clark. He plays like
Brilliant.
70% game
Gresh.
time.
Yeah.
Gresh, Windy.
I think those
And
boys.
even Sinclair.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Sinks is 100% now with Steele out. He's going in there.
Well, if we bring Webster on, we could leverage Sinclair into that midfield.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
potentially. I wouldn't want to. I'd put him like 20% time in the midfield just to give others a rest. Just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's too good off of halfback. He cleans up so much loose ball.
Yeah.
So much. Like so many times the Essendon player will reach his hands out to grab it and Sinclair will just be.
Yeah, gone.
Yeah.
Rebound.
Yeah.
Rebound 50.
But imagine him doing that in the middle. And like that clean.
I think you hold that wild card until the game
but
needs
like
it.
20% game time in the midfield.
It's still
That's enough
that's-
time to break open a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alrighty, boys. 150th. Get down. Bring your mates.
That's it. Let's get 70 plus, 75 plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the goal.
Let's make it a home game. I would be so upset if we went there and Essendon outnumbered us.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening. It's not even an option.
Yeah.
It's our night. We want to celebrate
If that happens, I'm getting out a can of white paint.
on all of them.
happening.
as you walk past.
Well said.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. I just reckon Essendon at the footy can be one of the most toxic teams ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to see our boys shut them up. I want a 40-point plus win again.
Yeah, big time, please.
Yeah.
And it's Saturday night too, so
Everyone's watching.
Yeah.
Prime time.
absolutely.
Big crowd. I'm so excited to see how the young boys thrive in front of a big sellout crowd.
I
Yeah.
can't wait
Like-
to watch Gresh on the G.
Gresh on the G.
Oh.
Yeah, he loves a bit of space.
Filippo gets the ball within 50. Oh, and he lands
sail,
one.
kid.
Yeah. That's literally what he knows he's made for.
Yeah.
This kid is playing in front of big crowds like that. So can't wait.
It's
We're
going to
ready.
be special.
The
Yeah,
team's
let's
ready.
go.
We're ready.
Bring it
We're
on.
charging into it. 150.
150th. I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but we bloody love being Saners, don't we?
We love it.
We love it. Wouldn't
bloody
barrack
love
for
it.
any other team.
Nah. No
It's
one's
painful, but we love it.
Wouldn't change it.
But we wouldn't
nothing
change
has
it.
No.
humbled us like being a St Kilda supporter.
No.
You know, no one has what we have.
Yeah.
No one has the mindset that we have.
Yeah.
We are
And
strong.
We are.
everyone's had a taste of premiership success, I feel. And we're just waiting for it. It's just going to be delicious.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be
it all
gorgeous.
starts with us building our culture, building strong attendances, going to games like 150 and showing how much we care.
Yeah,
That's it, mate. Yeah, it's a perfect message to end the
Yeah.
show, I think.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, just got a bit of a joke for you, Deano.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh.
Oh, and who?
Go marching in! Oh, when the Saints go marching